What is the most valuable lesson I learned from a homeless person on the subway? That day, we went to the station to catch a train to visit family in another city. While we were waiting, I noticed a homeless man standing in a hidden corner. He wore a worn, tattered coat, and his shoes had holes in them. His face was gaunt with unkempt stubble, but his eyes, they were different, tired but strangely warm. At one point, I saw him looking at my son. He smiled, then waved. I felt a bit uneasy. Honestly, I didn't want my son interacting with him. Not out of hatred, but I was worried he might not be clean. So, I gently led my son to sit on a different bench, a bit further away. We sat there waiting for a while, and I gave my son a small piece of candy. Suddenly, he began to choke. He started struggling, his face turning red, clutching at his throat with teary eyes, unable to make a sound. I was so terrified, I could only scream for help, but everyone around us was confused, not knowing what to do. At that moment, the homeless man appeared in front of me. He rushed over, gently pushing my husband and me aside, then quickly took hold of my son from behind. He started performing the Heimlich maneuver, pushing firmly on my son's abdomen, once, then twice. After a few tense seconds, the candy popped out of his mouth. My son started breathing again and burst into tears. I hugged him tightly, overwhelmed with relief. I turned to look at the man, not knowing what to say except, "Thank you." My heart was filled with gratitude and regret. This man had just saved my son, even though we had ignored and avoided him. Just then, someone in the crowd stepped forward and recognized him. She shared that he used to be a talented doctor, but a tragic accident had taken his wife and young child, leaving him devastated. Unable to save his loved ones, he had left his home and wandered ever since. Hearing this, my heart ached. I looked at the man, and tears began to fall. He had lost so much, yet he didn't hesitate to save my son, a stranger's child. His story changed the way I saw things, helping me realize that sometimes kindness and true greatness lie within those we least expect.